So full disclosure, man. This feels too real. It's like elaborating on something way out in the open, and I don't know how to explain this feeling, but like it's too real. It's kind of like something's lifting off my chest, and it made me think of like a lot of times when I watch. Naturally, man, it's like, what is your research other than videos and articles? And almost everyone literally discusses the whole built in public. And I'm beginning to think that this is what they mean. Like exposing whatever it is that's happening, that's happened, that you're thinking about, that you're moving through, puts it behind you, establishes the baseline, establishes the boundaries. I don't know what it does, man, but it's feeling super real. And that's basically when you come and you want to do something, that's the change they talk about, that you feel like you're actually like why don't I want to do this? Because you know that when you do this, you're no longer the same. And so you resist it with everything simply because, I don't know, human beings are naturally just driven to, I don't, maybe you're, I want to say we're naturally losers. But the reality is, I think that if you're used to change or if you're not used to change, objects in motion, I think that's the one of the laws of thermodynamics. Objects in motion are you continue in motion unless something stands in the way, and objects that are not moving require actual like some force in order for them to start moving. So it's just like you're either moving or you're not. And to move requires energy, and to stop moving requires energy. And I think it's the transition because, like, once you start moving, then you're able to kind of like pick up some stuff and then just basically build your momentum. And that's literally what everyone keeps talking about, right? Like, you hear them say it, but like, how the fuck can we relate to that shit? And I really think this is kind of like me understanding some form of connection towards these things, conceptualizing differently. I don't know how to explain it, man. But anyways, I'm loving this vibe. I I need to continue. But so, anyways, I promised that with this video, this origin story number 6, I would actually be able to explain to you my platform. And so at that time, what we really wanted to do was gamify society. What? Okay. No? Nobody wants, ha 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 ha. Whatever, man. If somebody is actually watching, this is sick. But so, gamifying society, why not? And hear me out. I still haven't discussed my philosophy on society yet. But I want you to imagine if living in society was a game, how would it look like? If you guys were to score points with society, how would it look like? Let me make it easier for you. When your mom looks at you and says, good job, when your uncle goes like, hey, I'm proud of you, if you were to take that word proud and go and exchange it for some value, where would you go? If you were to go and be like, I graduated top of my class, where would you exchange that with some value? Serious, man. Think about every single thing you do in your every single day life. And think of the things that contribute to you. But these are the things that are making you, every single thing you do in society, they're making it a bigger contribution. So your movement every day is literally a step up towards a better society as you increase your value, regardless of your fucking direction. There's no bias at all. There's literally a guy, and If you were to look at experience, the easiest way possible, which is experience. How do you gain experience in something? You kind of like do it. Okay, so like you're gaining experience in it, which means you're adding value that you have. You're increasing your value towards that kind of thing that you're gaining experience in. So if you were to hire somebody or hire somebody that gives more value, most of the times, or sometimes it's the guy that has the most experience, sometimes it's the guy that has the most knowledge, sometimes it's the guy that has most theory, and there are a whole lot of standards for you to actually like gain value when it comes to like whatever it is you want to do. So what if we could actually like give these a certain amount, give these a certain structure, point systems. We always try to do something like this, like the smallest thing. If you actually go and start helping your neighbors, eventually every single one of your neighbors will be like, he's a good kid and he helps us out, which increases your value, which means when the time comes and you open your mouth and you go like, I think we need to do this, a lot of people will be like, yes, I would listen to him because he has proven to us that he is a valuable member in this fucking community. Go another route. You have a chef, and this guy's been working in kitchens for the past 15, 20, 30 fucking years. And then another guy that's been working for 6 months. Who adds more value? Logical thing is the guy with experience, the guy who's been chopping onions every single day for the past 30 fucking years basically adds more value. Maybe has a better taste, flavor, whatever it is. Like, who are we to judge what value is to other people? We can't. People literally get to decide what they care for when it comes to value. Some things cannot be valued by money, while other things like money is necessary to value them. And so I believe that I can gamify society, and I believe I found the way to actually gamify it. And I believe through actual verification, or at the very least through people being able to like engage on a daily basis, hourly basis with society, which is exactly what we do. And I am going to explain my principles, but this is just me discussing what we were trying to build, what I'm still trying to build. But this is just me discussing it until the whole thing is done. And then I'm going to talk about the three pillars that I have in society, and I'm going to talk about all the things that contribute to what society is about when it comes to me, and how the monolith, which is society, shifts and turns. And it has like these three things at the center that I believe are the actual pillars of what society is about. But anyways, so we were trying to gamify society, and it was fucking beautiful, man. Because we'd sit and discuss mundane shit, and it was like so fucking good because the whole day would pass like this, like this. But when it came time to actually work, and we sucked at the planning. When it came time to work, we just were not able to do any of this. Until one day, I remember I was like calling my cousin, one of my cousins, like a distant cousin, whatever, man. He's super cool. I like the way he thinks. He kind of thinks exactly like, he kind of thinks the way I do in terms of why would I want to make anything in front of me something that it's not. And I think that's a problem we have, especially in, well, the world. But like in our region, everyone keeps complaining about the way things are. But I've been alive for 38 years, and as far as I can remember, things have always been this way. So I don't get it. Why would anyone complain? It's always been this way. We're not familiar with any other way of living. What we got familiarized ourselves with was the complaining. And I have a strong sensation that people just, they want to fill their time. They have nothing to do in their days, so they just like find this shit to complain about, and they seek it out. So I went to him and I was like, "Hey man," and I was showing him the finalized UI, and I was like, "Here you go, man, the UI UX are here." And I was like, "This is what I'm building." And he goes like, "What is it?" And I go like, "This is a social network with entities at the core. And this is what I plan on doing from A to Z." I kind of gave him the minute pitch, the 5 minute pitch, and the 20-minute pitch. And he liked it. He liked the idea. He liked the concept. There's a whole lot of things that were like super engaging when it came to like the conversation. But ultimately, he explained to me that whatever I was trying to do was still way too complicated for him to understand, which means people that don't give a fuck are not going to actually be able to understand it. And that is when it clicked. Because my first approach that I was thinking about all the way back when I was still in the boot camp, because I was thinking from the entry point to the market before it became like such a grandiose idea. And when that clicked in, pop, I knew exactly what I had to code. And at that point was the point when I actually lost the guy that I was with. Because the minute I went to him and I was like, we're not going to code this monolith of a fucking design because we're still clueless. Because we had to include events, we have to code a full blown like event system. We have to code a full blown like community system. We had to code a full blown. We had to use some form of uh, mapping system. We have to click. We have to link it. What was it again? I remember there were a few things. There was a chat system as well that we needed to like include in it. And granted, these things are fairly simple to like deal with, but that's a lot of stuff, man. There's just like a lot of stuff. Overall, we found a way to kind of like, when I was talking about the business aspect of what we were building, I lost it. Because we really have to find a way to get our people to say yes. To get the, if, if, the, if the users of the application are not going to like it, I don't fucking care how amazing the idea is. The world has had a lot of ideas built and failed because there's the systems themselves were not able to kind of like the people never integrated them within their lives. They never integrated them. And like all I did was read books about this shit, man, and research this shit. I have to, or else I'll be wasting my fucking time, right? What do you spend your day on when you're like focused on this kind of shit? And that's when I lost him, man. But it's beautiful. Well, I lost him as my partner, and then that's when I was like, you know what? I need to start coding again and like going into it and deep into it. And at that point, man, I remember I left the house and I moved into a different area, and from there I started like hardcore coding. Yeah.